Okay, thank you very much. Welcome to my channel again. Uh, Excuse me for being late in uploading a new video on chapter 6. Let us see today, we are going to see chapter 6. Last time we have completed all about chapter 5 about climate of Ethiopia and the whole. Today we are going to see Chapter 6 about the soil, natural vegetation, wildlife resources of Ethiopia and the whole. Here we are going to see the formation in the spatial variability of soil in Ethiopia. The spatial distribution and again formation of this soil in the country is affected by topographic, climatic factors, rock material and land use is also determine the formation, the spatial variability of this soil in the country. On the other hand, the distribution of wildlife and the natural vegetation is also largely, mainly determined by climate, soil, and drainage type. Let us see Ethiopian soils. Here we are going to see types, degradation, and conservation of the soil. Soil contains different inorganic and organic materials. What are these inorganic materials or whether the minerals materials consists about 45% of the total, while organic matter contains the smallest share, that is about 5%. Again, air consists up to 20 up to 30, that means it may be 25. Again, water consists 20 up to 25, maybe it may be 25. So, the formation of soil depends on one parent material, that means on rock. Again, climate, topography in the living organism plus time is one of the most important condition for the formation of soil. Soil take time to be formed. The formation of soil take a time. The formation of soil is not an immediate process. It take a longer time. The other is that we are going to see weathering. Weathering is simply, it is a process of disintegration or breaking down of rocks into smaller pieces due to different factors. Why rocks break down? Rocks break down due to what? It may be due to animals, or it may be due to rainfall, or it may be due to bacteria, or it may be due to plants. Here we are going to see there are three types of weathering. The first one is mechanical or physical weathering. The second one is biological weathering. The third one is chemical weathering. Let us see one by one. Let us start from mechanical weathering. This is caused by without changing the internal structure of the rocks. For example, what is the difference between chemical property and the physical property? It is no. For example, burning paper is what? It is one of chemical property, but cutting paper is detaching paper is one of the physical properties. We can get it in case of physical property. But here, mechanical weathering or physical weathering happen without changing the internal structure of the rock. Simply it is what? Breaking down of the rocks into pieces, into smaller rocks. For example, in desert area, due to temperature, rocks expand during daytime, contract during nighttime, expand, contract, expand, then finally breakdown due to what? Temperature. Look, these rocks are breakdown due to temperature. We can see this one. This in the again, you can also see this one. So they are caused by due to temperature. So the breaking down of rocks into pieces due to temperature difference is what we call sometimes as exfoliation processes. Exfoliation processes. This all about. The second one is that biological weathering. Biological weathering involves simply the waking of rocks or the breaking down of rocks due to plants, animals, and microbes or microscopic organisms. This is occurred by exertion of pressure from these different plants' roots deep into the surface of the earth. The rock, for example, you can see from this picture, look how plants send the root and break down the surface of the rock. Again, you can see this. So the plant's root can break down the surface of the rocks. Plus again, you can also see this animal. For example, you can see here there is animals. These animals break down the surface of the rocks in search of shelter, in search of home. They create their own shelter by digging the surface of the rocks. Again, you can see this is also another animal. These are generally what we call biological weathering. So, in case of biological weathering, the major agents are plants, animals, and microbes. But in case of physical weathering, mechanical or physical weathering, the main agents are temperature, wind, temperature, water, and wind are the major agents. Let us see the third one. The third one is about chemical weathering. Chemical weathering. As the name implies, chemical weathering involves modification of the chemical or mineralogical composition of the rock. In this case, there is complete alteration of the rocks, complete change in the internal structure of the rock. In case of what? Chemical weathering. So it is undergone in the form of hydrolysis, oxidation, reduction, hydration, carbonation, water solution. So most of minerals in the soils are resulted from weathering. Resulted with from this chemical weathering. So in case of this chemical weathering, new rocks or new shape of rocks are created. What is, for example, when water is added over certain calcium carbonate or rocks. Calcium carbonate is the rock. When water is added over this calcium carbonate, here look, water plus calcium carbonate is there. Plus again, when carbon dioxide from the air is added over this calcium carbonate, what will be? Bicarbonates are created. That means the breaking down of this calcium carbonate or limestones. So the main agents of this chemical weathering is what? Rainfall. Rainfall is the main agents for this chemical weathering. So this is all about the best example for this chemical weathering is the sophomore cave. Sophomore cave is the best example for chemical weathering. Sophomore cave is found in Bali. Sophomore cave is found in Bali region. So this is the best example for this chemical weathering. The other is that we are going to see soil properties. We can divide soil properties into chemical properties and the physical properties. Soil physical properties is about the texture of the soil, again the structure of the soil, about the porosity of the soil, which can affect the air movements, water and the air movements, and the ability to function. For example, when you say soil structure, the arrangement of the soil. When you say porosity, porosity is simply it is a gap between soil, the space between soil particles. So soil that have high amount of porosity, in this case, air can easily move within the soil when porosity of the soil is very high. The second one is chemical properties. When you talk about chemical properties, we are talking about soil pH, the basicity or the acidity of the soil, or the electrical conductivity of that soil. We are talking about this in case of chemical properties. It's all about this. Second, the next one is that we are going to see major soil types in Ethiopia. There are different types of soil in Ethiopia. Originally, the formation of soil in Ethiopia is largely it is derived from basically from crystalline basement complex rocks, volcanic, and again Mesozoic sedimentary rocks are one of the base for the formation of soil in Ethiopia originally. So this implies that the formation of soil has primary linkage with these geological events in different geological eras. Now let us see. FAO classified the soil of Ethiopia into more than 80 soil groups, more than 80 soil, which is identified by FAO. Now let us see 6 of these major groups, because these 6 soils are the most important for cash crop production and the cereal crop production in the country in Ethiopia. But the following classification of soil consider the following points into account. What are these points? The first one is that about the environmental condition. That means about parent material, about the rock, about climate, topography, condition of its formation. These are one of the major criteria. The other is that characteristics. That means about physical and chemical properties of the soil. The third one is agricultural suitability. Is that soil is suitable for agricultural production, crop production? That means that we are talking about the texture of that soil, the structure of that soil, topography, moisture storage capacity of that soil. Plus again, the fourth one is about the occurrence. This is the general location of the soil, where that soils are located. So these criteria, these conditions should be taken into account. Now let us see. These are the soil types of Ethiopia. These major 6 soil types of Ethiopia one by one. The first one is Nito soils. Nito soils is the soil that contain trapezious volcanic ash and even metamorphic rocks. And this is common in areas that get high amount of rainfall along highlands, which experiences high rainfall. That is formed on forested area that is covered by large density of forests. The best example for this area is that the southwestern part of Ethiopia, some portion of Wallaka, Jimman Islands, Ilubabur zone, Masha, Gamgofa. This is the best example for where these soils are largely found. So due to high rainfall, high leached soil, enriched with non-soluble minerals like iron and aluminum, but it lacks soluble minerals like potassium and calcium. iron. So this soil has the highest content of iron and again aluminum, but it lacks soluble minerals like potassium and calcium. Especially, nitro soils are widely found in cultivated areas. That means in cash crop growing areas, islands of Ethiopia, just like that of Kafa, Lubabo, Bora, highlands, and again central, southern and eastern portion of Ethiopia. So it is common in coffee growing areas and again cash crop production areas, just like that of Chad. The largest share of coffee production, it is common in southwestern part of Ethiopia. So this soil is common there. Acre soil. Why acre soil is associated under this nitro soil? Because the occurrence, the location of this acre soil is associated with the location of this nitro soil, because it is associated with wherever there is nitro soil, there is acre soil. This highly related with this nitro soil. So acre soils are one of the most infertile soils of tropics, but it is exposed to degradation naturally when it is utilized. So look, it is found along nitro soils, we have said, mostly in southwestern highlands of Ethiopia where there is high amount of rainfall. The second category of soil is that vertisoil. Vertisoils are soils that are developed on volcanic plateau area. Called that volcanic plateau basalt, and again it has nature of swelling at wet and cracking at dry season respectively. At a crack during dry season, it become wet, swell during wet season. So this soil is easily degradable soil, but it has very high natural chemical fertility, which is used for crop production. So the largest share of this cereal crop production is common wherever there is nitro or verti soils are largely found. So especially it is located at northwestern, central, southeastern highlands, especially in Gujarat, Shawa, Arsi Valley, and the central Hararge, wherever crop production is common. So this is soil is common in cereal crops growing area like wheat, wheat, etc. etc. The third one is little soils, cambi soils, and again rigo soils. These soils are formed by pedogenic or soil forming processes. They are young and shallow and again coarse texture soil which has low water holding capacity. Desert soil. So these are soils are common to low rainfall and consequently less productivity rather than for grazing purpose. It is used for grazing purpose than for productivity. Especially they are found in rugged and again steep the slopes of central highlands of Rift Valley Mountains and again in western Hararghe. Rigosol and lithosols are found in Denakal and again eastern Uganda. Denakal depression again in Ugaden region in Somalia, Ethiopia region. Zero soils, Yermo soils, and Solanjaks. Let us see. These soils are desert soil and again they are semi-desert soil. Again, they are too salty, phosphorus and potash, and low organic. That means they have low organic content. That means humus. Humus content is very low inside type of soil, but they are fertile, which is suitable for irrigation purpose. Solanjaks are saline soil developing in areas of high evaporation, capillary action, wherever there is high evaporation. High evaporation is very high in desert area, especially this is found in upper region in Ugaden, especially zero soils are found in Ugaden and again northeastern escarpment, that is in Afar region, whereas Yermo and Solanjaks are largely found in Ugaden and Afar plains. So these soils are extremely subjected to wind erosion and again concentration of soluble salts. The content of salt is very high in these soils. The fifth one is that flabby soils. As the name implies, flabby soils are soils that are associated with fluvial river. So developed on flat ground and again overlaid alluvial deposits. Formation of these soils are associated with deposition at river course banks at the lower course of river, for example, delta, Oxbow Lake, floodplain, such type of land is associated with this fluvial soil. Therefore, such type of soil is formed by this fluvial river that we call flabby soils. So, especially the lower course of rivers like Omo, Awasha, Baro, Kobo, these are the basic examples for where these flabby soils are developed. So it is intensive, it is good for agricultural production. And again, fertile and again this fertility is renewed from continuous deposition because of this flood or deposition at the lower course of river. Such type of soil is very fertile soil. The sixth one is that levee soil. Levee soils are developed mainly in areas where behaved wet in the dry season in alteration. These soils are it has good chemical nutrients and again it is intensively cultivated or based for agriculture in tropics, especially it is located around Tana area, northern, central and eastern highlands and southern lowlands. So it is located where Nito fields are also found. Look, levee soils. Acre soil is associated with Nito soils. This is all about the occurrence and the formation of these soils. So we can easily understand from this map where do you find Nito soil, where do you find Verti soil, where do you find Rico soil, zero soils, Acre soils, zero soil, and so on. So you can see from this map their occurrence easily you can understand from this map. For example, Nito soil is here. Where do you find the largest share of Nito soil? The western part of the country, we have said. Where do you find Verti soil? Look, Verti soil here. Again, Verti soil. Where do you find this Verti soil? Where do you find this Verti soil? Where do you find this Verti soil? Look. So we can easily understand from this map the occurrence of this Verti soil. Areno soils as a color of look. Areno soils and again Verti soils and again lazy soils. Somewhat it is similar. You can carefully see the color. So this is all about. The other is that we are going to see soil degradation next time. Let it be enough for today. Thank you very much. See you for next time. Please subscribe and again share this channel to your friends. Thank you very much.